Black Ops 7 has made some absolutely huge changes to the Zombies mode this year, and what we're going to do is go through all of them because I think you're going to be surprised at just how many small details to the gameplay Treyarch have changed. So getting straight into it, regarding the loadout, there is now a thing called build codes, whereas normal you can construct your weapon and loadout in the gunsmith, but using the build code associated to it, you can now share that loadout with your friends so they can use the exact same that you are, or you can import a code that someone else is using. This will mean all of those best setup guides you watch on YouTube will now be much easier for you if you can just input the code that the YouTuber is using and straight up replicate their loadout for yourself. And speaking on loadouts, Treyarch have made adjustments to the melee weapons, which we'll get into later on, and the Casimirs, which are tactical weapons, are now available for you to select as a part of your loadout, whereas in Black Ops 6, you couldn't do that. Looking at the changes Black Ops 7 Zombies makes to the essence and salvage, gobblegums can now be recycled to receive instant and additional essence, so any gobblegum that you don't use in game, you can crush and turn into essence. The salvage bonus that you got from certain silencer attachments in Black Ops 6 have been lowered. They've done this to give other muzzle attachments a chance, I guess, because in Black Ops 6, there was no reason to not be using a silencer because you did get extra salvage from it. So now Treyarch have toned down the chance of you getting that to try to make you use other attachments. And finally in BO7, every 10 rounds, you will now be awarded around 50% of any salvage that you previously missed picking up. So if you're just casually playing, running around the map and end up missing picking up a lot of salvage, every 10 rounds you will now get about 50% of the salvage that you missed. There have also been some pretty big changes made to the power-ups. The max ammo power-up now fills your equipment as well as your ammunition, which is a great change. The fire sale power-up now also temporarily reduces the cost of traps and wall buys. The random perk power-up has been added to the power-up selection. This has been a power-up in Zombies for a long time, but it's now a casual power-up that you will find just like a max ammo fire sale, insta-kill, etc. It's been added to the rotation. But a number of perks must be purchased first by all of the teammates in the game before it will appear, so you can't just farm it to get all of the perks in the game for free. Multiple power-ups randomly dropping within a single round will now be more frequent. There is a new gobblegum called Power Vacuum that increases the chances of power-ups spawning after zombie kills, and any gobblegums that summon power-ups like Killjoy or On the House now automatically activate the power-ups they summon, adjusting the tactics of when to employ them and removing the need to physically run into them. Looking at the changes that Treyarch have made to some of the augments then, this one is huge. Anytime there is an augment that enables an enemy to be charmed, so Brainrot is the biggest example, that charmed zombie will now avoid killing the last zombie on a round, which will allow you or your teammates to kill it instead. This is great because I hate using Brainrot in zombies simply because if I ever want to save a zombie on a given round and I've got Brainrot on my weapon, there's a chance it's going to create a brain-rotted zombie and it's going to kill the one I'm saving. So this augment now means a brain-rotted zombie won't kill the final one on a given round. All big game augments for ammo mods will receive a buff to damage or the frequency that they are triggered. They've also made changes to the area of effectiveness for certain augments. Any augments that operate on a per shot influence regarding ammunition, or weapons that have multiple pellets or an area of effective damage, now have a very small cooldown so as to not make them overwhelmingly effective for those weapon types. And the final big overall change to the augments is called Health Overcharge, which is a new feature in Black Ops 7 Zombies, Overheal, which gives you a modifying buff that allows players to temporarily increase their maximum health using certain augments or equipment. We'll look at that one in more detail later on. Talking about the changes to the perks, the base purchase price of the perks, just like in Black Ops 6, is still based on previously purchased perks and increases to the price, but that now doesn't include any ones that you may have obtained for free, using gobblegums, Easter eggs, or power-ups for example. And also in Black Ops 6, the Wonder Fizz machine only became available at round 25. However, in Black Ops 7, the arrival of the Wonder Fizz is now dependent on you and your teammates. It won't arrive until you've already purchased a certain amount of perks, which includes repurchases by all players in the game. Previously, the only stipulation was you had to reach round 25. There have been huge changes to the gobblegums. As I mentioned earlier, you can now recycle any gobblegum and convert them into essence. In BO7, one or more of your chosen gobblegums can be crushed during a match while they are in your inventory and converted into essence. The gobblegum will be removed just as it had been consumed, and the essence will be added into your inventory. The The amount of essence you receive is dependent on the rarity of the Gobblegum, with Whimsicles being the lowest and Ultras being the highest. The double points power up stacks with this essence reward, awarding you double the normal amount of essence. The epic rarity Profit Sharing Gobblegum also stacks with this essence reward, awarding the essence to nearby players as well. And if you want to, you can disable this feature in specific modes. Also, when multiple players are accessing a Gobblegum machine, expect a small cooldown every time you obtain a Gobblegum. This will allow other teammates a chance to interact with the machine, and exit strategy now automatically exfils the players who have used the Gobblegum, counting as a successful exfil. This is partly due to the new exfil feature in BO7. The devs have also made some changes to the Rampage Inducer. Zombies will now spawn in faster, move faster, and are more aggressive. They have reduced the delay between rounds. All players in the game must vote to activate the Rampage Inducer, and most importantly for me, Super Sprinters now won't spawn in until round 20. So you're not going to be on round 5, and you're coming up against the fastest moving zombies in the game when you don't have a pack-a-punched weapon. Let's look at what they've done to the wall buys this year. Weapon wall buys now allow you to purchase ammo at a discounted price for the weapon indicated on the wall buy, once that initial wall buy weapon has been brought. That really does give you an incentive to at least approach wall buys on those earlier rounds now. Armor wall buys have been combined, allowing you to purchase level 2 and level 3 armor from the exact same armor wall buy. Again, a great change. Instead of running all the way around the map to find the level 2 armor and the level 3 armor, it's now all purchased from the same one. They've also made some small changes to the mystery box. It's not too different to how it worked in BO6, but it now has the chance to provide you an ether tool to instantly upgrade your weapon's rarity, along with support items, aka score streaks, no longer appearing in the mystery box. I like that. When you get to those higher rounds, you pretty much have enough salvage to keep purchasing score streaks anyway. Melee weapons no longer appear in the mystery box, and this one's the best for me. The chance to obtain wonder weapons now gradually increases a little bit more than previously as rounds progress, but are still a rare phenomenon. So basically, your chances of getting a wonder weapon from the mystery box on those high rounds are just a little bit more common, but not that much. But a bit is better than nothing. The cost of weapon rarity has been adjusted. They say they've done this to further insensitize the mystery box and wall buys. How effective this will be, I don't know. I don't really think it will, to be honest, because if you're going to load in with the weapon of your choice, you are probably not going to change it out for a mystery box weapon just because you don't quite have enough to purchase a new rarity for it. I mean, maybe you will as a second weapon. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, the green rarity will now cost you 1000 salvage instead of, I think it was 500 previously. Blue rarity will now cost you 1500 salvage instead of 1000. The epic purple rarity will now cost you 2000 instead of, I think it was 1500. And then the orange legendary rarity will now cost you 5000 salvage. These are some massive changes. So it sounds like it will now take you a lot longer to fully upgrade your weapon in-game. Remembering though, the rarity of your weapon can also be upgraded via ether tools, which are now available in the mystery box. So perhaps that will give you more of a incentive to spin the box. There are now 2 additional ways to adjust your HUD in Black Ops 7 Zombies via themes and layouts. For layouts, you can select from a variety of HUD interface layouts just like you could in BO6. And even though individual HUD elements can't be moved, the layout variety includes magnified elements for accessibility, or for those who want a cleaner look. But you can apply a custom colour to your HUD that has 2 settings. You can either choose from a set of 45 basic colours, or a custom colour menu with hue, saturation, and brightness sliders. None of that interests me, but this one, they say there are several planned themes to choose from, with some elements familiar to those with a long appreciation of Call of Duty Zombies. Now, what exactly they mean by this, I couldn't say for sure, but a themed HUD and them mentioning previous Zombies games would make me think, are we able to select HUDs from older games? So for example, you can choose to use the Black Ops 1 HUD in Black Ops 7 Zombies, or the Black Ops 3 HUD in Black Ops 7 Zombies. I hope so. The one thing everybody was really asking for was just a unique zombie HUD in Black Ops 7, and from what I've seen, it's the same one that we have in MP, so they haven't quite done what people were asking. But if I'm true in believing you can have themed HUDs from Black Ops 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, BO4, then that at least sounds better. The exfil system has also been revamped. In BO7 Zombies, if you're playing with a team, if multiple teammates decline the exfil, they can choose to either help or ignore you when you're engaged in HVT combat. and whether the high value target is killed or not, the players declining to exfil can continue their matches without a penalty for that. And the players who voted to accept the exfil will end their match whether they defeated the HVT or not. Getting back to the adjustments to the melee weapons, as I mentioned at the start of the video, they wrote, there are beneficial changes coming to the melee weapons in Black Ops 7, allowing them to inflict critical and more damaging attacks. So if you're using a melee weapon, you can now inflict critical hits. This means you're able to aim at a target, strike them at the head, and cause critical attacks, which in turn grant you more damage in essence. You have more control over the swing and the arc of the weapon from start to impact, and more importantly, the timing of the attack to ensure a critical hit is achieved. And you can do heavy melee attacks, which will deal even more damage but are a little bit slower. It seems like what they were trying to do here is bring back some of that strategy from the older games with the knifing and shooting system. There was strategy to it, but with the change to the point system in Black Ops 4 and then especially Cold War and after, knifing became less important. This at least sounds like it brings strategy back to it. Another thing I briefly mentioned earlier, which is one of the biggest changes in the game, is Overheal, a modifying buff that allows players to temporarily increase their maximum health using certain augments or equipment. So looking at these changes, the most you can raise your health by using combined augment effects like Juggernaut's probiotic augment and the stim shot equipment, for example, is an extra 100 health. But you can employ specific tactics which will allow you to increase your health further. This bonus to your health, however, will be temporary, meaning unlike your regular health, it won't regenerate over time. Once you've used this temporary health, that's it, it's gone. You will then drop back down to the normal maximum, but this temporary health bonus can just be reacquired again. So there are multiple ways to increase your health in Black Ops 7 Zombies, aside from the usual Juggernaut and armor, by combining certain augments and equipment, or through other tactics. This one I love as well. Now, when a round completes, any player that is in a prone position will be auto-revived. So from what I can gather, if you go down on a round and you're still alive when the round switches over, instead of you having to run over to them and revive them quickly, when the round switches, if they're still downed, they will be automatically revived now. Another huge innovation brought to zombies is pausing. Okay, I don't know why this is listed as an innovation. This has been a thing in zombies since World at War. We know we kind of had a little bit of a mess up with it. So yeah, you can solo pause in Black Ops 7. Great. I've got to show you this one as well. It's a change to a specific augment, but it's really huge. The Total Shell augment for Juggernaut. Previously in BO6, it was crap because whilst it completely absorbed damage from your rear, you would take more from the front. However, now armor is still completely absorbed from the back, while you will continue to receive normal damage from the front. This is effectively exactly how the shields used to work in BO2 and 3 zombies. This could completely change Juggernaut and be the augment you definitely have to use now. And I'm really interested now to see how much easier this is going to make the game, especially because of all of the other augments, the overcharge to the health system, armor. You can take so many hits from the zombies in current modern day zombies. So with this in addition to it, the game's gonna be super easy, right? I don't know. I need to play it first. And finishing off with the major changes to this game, armored zombies no longer super sprint in high rounds. Overall, zombie armor is more easily destroyed, but will be more durable against explosive splash damage, and certain weapons and attachment combinations will be more effective at armored zombie takedowns, along with there just being less super sprinting zombies overall. But the damage they can do will be increased. So there we go. Of course, there's a new perk in the game. There are loads of new augments as well, but these are all of the major gameplay changes and adjustments that Treyarch have made to this year's Zombies mode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you excited? I think these are all really great and unexpected. If you've enjoyed the video, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.